34 false statements made to cover up other crimes. These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are.
34 felony counts, all wrapped up in the first ever indictment of a former U.S. president. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is alleging former President Donald Trump falsified business records in order to cover up hush money payments to help his 2016 election campaign. The 16-page indictment lists each of the alleged false business records as a separate count, with no mention of the potential crimes the entries were intended to mask. But more details come in the indictment's companion document, the Statement of Facts. Bragg claims Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, paid $130,000 to adult film actress Stormy Daniels in exchange for her silence over an alleged affair with Trump, which he denies. Mr. Bragg says Trump reimbursed Cohen through a series of payments and wrote them off as legal fees. What's more, Mr. Bragg accuses Trump of orchestrating a catch-and-kill scheme, meeting with the publishers of the National Enquirer to kill negative stories about Mr. Trump before the 2016 election. Others, like Playboy model Karen McDougal and a Trump Tower doorman, were also kept quiet. Paying to keep stories out of the press is not illegal, but Bragg says these payments were a cover-up for at least 3 other crimes, which he says is a felony in the state of New York. So why not list them in the indictment? Bragg says state law doesn't require him to.
Clearly the indictment doesn't have to state what the other crime is, but you have to prove what the other crime is.
In an interview with Scripps News, Michael Scotto, a former prosecutor from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, said Bragg and his team are tasked with proving 3 theories: violations of state election law, mischaracterization of payments on tax forms, and federal campaign finance violations, which Bragg has no power to prosecute.
There aren't any tax-related crimes, and mischaracterized, they're not saying that there was any sort of tax evasion here. And with regard to the campaign finance violations, the federal law absolutely preempts a state from prosecuting election law-related crimes with regard to federal office. So there's a preemption issue there. Then there's certainly the issue that there's no appellate authority that you can bring a false business records in the first degree case based on raising the misdemeanor to a felony on a federal offense.
As for what is next, Trump will have to wait until December for his next in-person hearing, setting up a potential trial in January in the heart of the Republican nominating process. But most legal experts believe Bragg's indictment of Trump is, quote, novel, which is code for saying there's not a lot of legal precedent, meaning Bragg will rely on a largely untested legal theory to convict a former president. Joe St. George, Scripps News.